I just want to come and talk to y'all for a minute about something. As we enter into this holiday season, as we enter into Christmas, everybody talk about the 21-day countdown. Listen, I want to come and give you a 21-day countdown of healing, deliverance, and breakthrough. Because what happens when the enemy is no longer outside of you, but the enemy is within? What happens when you're battling your own thoughts? What happens when you feel like you're not worthy enough for that relationship, that love, that job? What happens when you feel like you're down and out and that God hasn't heard your prayers? What happens when the enemy is within, when the enemy is coming against you in your mind? What happens at that moment? So y'all listen, I want to take these next 21 days and just show up each and every day, not only for myself, but for y'all, and that we just come together so that there can be true healing, deliverance, and breakthrough in your life. So y'all, let's talk about it. Oh, before I get started, thank y'all so much for your donations. Thank you so much for just continuing to show up, continuing to hit a like, continuing to comment. As y'all can hear, I'm still pushing, I'm still fighting on with this cold that I'm claiming I no longer have, because I do feel way better. It's just, I'm still congested. But I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Y'all listen, we're growing daily. Welcome to all of you that is just now coming onto the family. I appreciate y'all so much. So y'all, let's talk about it. 21 days of healing, deliverance, and breakthrough. Starting with number 1. It is not your fault. We're starting out day 1 by letting you know it is not your fault. Everything that happened to you, even as a child, it is not your fault. Do not sit another day and think if you were in a different family, you would have a different outcome. If they did not do this or that, it would be a different outcome for you. Listen, it had to happen the way that it happened for you because you needed that for this moment right here. It built you up for this day, this moment. It is not your fault. Number 1, it is not your fault that you were abandoned as a child. Some of us are still stuck in our childhood traumas and dramas, and it's causing us to be stagnant mentally, physically, emotionally. We have literally covered up our hearts and our minds to where nobody can get in. It is not your fault that you were abandoned as a child. This day I speak healing over you, to where you no longer have to sit and think about why. Why did they leave me? Was I not good enough? What did I do to deserve that? It was not your fault. You just started out being independent real early, baby. That's it. God was teaching you real early how to depend on Him. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Let's go to the next one. It is not your fault that you don't know how to love. Now, don't get stuck in this. Don't get crippled in this, because we have to learn how to love. We have to open up our hearts. We have to be healed, right? But sometimes starting out in this journey is hard because we've been betrayed, because we've been used, because we've been mistreated, because people have walked off and left us. It's hard for us to open up in love. Give love and receive love. But it is not your fault. Now, what is your, well, I wouldn't even say fault. What is your responsibility is being healed. Being intentional about healing. 21 days, y'all, of healing, deliverance, and breakthrough. It is not your fault that you don't know how to love. Maybe it wasn't displayed in your house. Maybe it wasn't even given to you as a child. So growing up, you weren't affectionate. Growing up, you didn't know what it meant to be, people to tell you that they love you, because you didn't hear it often. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to do the work to come up out of that. That's a part of the generational curse, y'all. Don't beat yourself up. Continue to show up. Continue to do the work. The next one. It is not your fault that you were outcasted, shamed, or bullied. It don't matter what kind of clothes you had on. It don't matter how you tried to hang out with the cool crew. It don't matter what you did to try to be in the games and whatever else everybody else had going on in school. It was not your fault that they continued to outcast you, bullied you, shamed you, even in your family. You were always set apart. You were always different. You were always on the front line. You didn't even know it. You were the one setting the trend even as a child. So yeah, you had to be outcasted. You're the leader. Yes, maybe they did bully you because what they don't understand, they reject and they bully and they talk about. Yes. It was not your fault. It is not your fault. And y'all, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because some of us are beating ourselves up from the childhood traumas that we've gone through. And if you're not beating yourself up, you're unconsciously still living in the past. So you cannot move on into healthy relationships. You cannot move on and truly believe that you can do better and be better. You cannot move on and operate into your full potential because you're still carrying the weight, the hurt, the pain of childhood traumas and dramas and even things that may have happened as an adult. We have to heal from this stuff. We have to know that it's not our fault. And once we receive that in our spirits, then we start doing the healing. Then we start being intentional. Let's go to the last one. It is not your fault that true love hasn't found you yet. Some of us are eagerly seeking for the one. Eagerly waiting on this person to ride up on a white horse and sweep us off our feet. And sometimes we have these conversations with ourselves asking, what's wrong with me? Another one bites the dust. Why can't I just get what I'm looking for? Why is it not anybody out there for me? It is not your fault. Yes, you are in a season that maybe you are doing the healing work. And when you're doing the healing work, it's hard for you to try to attach yourself to somebody else because you haven't truly healed yet. You still have to go through the process in the journey. So there's no need for you to try to add somebody onto the equation when you already ain't mathing. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to do better and be better. True love is out there for you. Your person is out there for you. But you have to be healthy, whole, and happy before they show up. The days of trauma, the days of drama, the days of toxic people in your life is over. Begin to do the healing work so that you can attract the person that you really want to be with. It starts with you. It starts with us. But it's not your fault. It's your responsibility to make a change, to show up differently, to do something different than what your family, your bloodline has done. You've been called to do it. This day forward, y'all, be intentional about dropping the self-sabotage, the doubts, the fears that has haunted you for years. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Listen, I pray healing over your life. I pray breakthrough over your life. I pray blessings over your life. I pray that the next 21 days truly is a cleansing for you. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. To where your heart is open to what's new, to what's available, to what God is trying to give you. 21 days of healing, deliverance, and breakthrough.